Hey guys, it's Rando, and today, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but anyways, we're doing something a little bit different today. This is not the regular white background that you see. I actually took it down because I want to do a new one, but yeah, this is Studio, or stud.io, and it is a digital building tool that you can use to build anything. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we are actually going to be building something. This is a new weekly series called Rando Builds, and what am I going to build today? Well, we're going to be building the Deadmau5 Cube 3.0, and I'll show you it right here. I'm a fan of electronic music. I like Deadmau5 as an artist. He's one of my favorites, and yeah, we're going to be making this since he's doing his tour very soon with this. So the goal is, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be making this Deadmau5 Cube and the stage as well. So we're going to be making the whole entire Deadmau5 Cube 3.0 stage. Now, the reason why I'm building it in Studio is because I literally don't have enough pieces. I will not have enough pieces to make this. Notably, I won't have enough tiles to actually tile down the whole entire surface of the cube and the background. And yeah, I just won't have enough pieces, and Studio has all of the new pieces, and it's updated and all that cool stuff. So that's why I'm using it, but I do have a prototype that I can show you right now. Alright, so here's the prototype that I made, and I apologize for the background and everything. I'm just here at my computer, and then I'm going to start building on Studio right now. But here's just the prototype that I made. Basically, all of the hard work is done. Like, all of the building techniques that I'm using to get the shaping and to get the angles down is already done. The purpose of doing the prototype was so that I could get the strength down, because it's really hard to determine like how strong your model is going to be in Studio. So that's why I'm just doing it all in real life. So one of the gimmicks of the Deadmau5 Cube 3.0 is that the whole entire thing spins. I've been spinning it all this time, but yes, it does spin, so I wanted to get that down in the prototype before I start working on it on the computer. So without further ado, let's do it. Alright, so I'm back on Studio right here, and I have a blank canvas, so I'm just going to get started with this, and then we're going to jump back to when I have something done. Hopefully by this episode, I'll have at least the groundwork done, like the prototype that I have, but in this, and a little bit better with all the different pieces that I need. Okay, so I've done a little bit of work here, and one thing that you might want to know is how you can get the 45-degree angle on the cube. As you can see, it is at a 45-degree angle. And how do you get that in Lego? Well, you have to use, or the way I figured it out, is that you have to use a turntable, and then you turn it 45 degrees. And then you can put it underneath, like, whatever platform you're using. So I'm going to be attaching this to the arm, which also will go to the base. Now there's one thing that you also have to do, so I'm just going to do that, is you have to add the sides. Okay, so once you have the 45-degree angle and some walls for the walls, you want to take a wedge plate, like a 3x3 one, and then you can put it on top of here, and it will overlap this flat tile. And then that will give you the 45-degree angle. And another thing is that it is a legal building technique. It's not actually like nudging up against this part at all, really. So there is still a little bit of movement that can happen in here, but it's actually very minimal. But it's not wrecking the parts. It's not actually touching the parts, even though it kind of looks like it on this. I've done it in real life. I have it on here, the prototype, and it's perfectly fine. And then you basically lock it up with another plate, which I'll do in a second. Like if I use a 3x3, I'll just lock it up over here, and then everything is cool, and there's no problems here in terms of illegal building techniques. All of this can be done and has been done by me. I'm looking at the prototype right now, and it works completely, so it's good. Okay, so I've worked a little bit more on the structural stability and just some overall looks of the inside, and I think that is basically it for this part. And then the rest of the stuff that I'll do in maybe another episode is basically tile it all up. what I'm going to do is basically, this is going to be the only support, and then the rest will just be plates going up and up and up until the cube is, well, as big as it is. And the dimensions that I'm going to be using and that I used on the prototype was 12 by 12 for each panel, so 12 studs by 12 studs for each side. I think anything else would look too big or just too small, so I'm going to keep it at 12 by 12 for each panel. Now I'm going to work on this middle section and kind of connect these two, because once I get that done, the bulk of the work for the cube itself is done. Alright, so I did it, and this is it connected. And then all I need to do now for this episode is to put a stick going through here and a platform that is strong enough to hold it. Now, I'm not too worried about the platform right now. It's more about actually getting it placed and then building upon that. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to start off with a Technic piece. See, one of the things about using this is that you actually have to know what the pieces are called, and when you're building at home in your collection, you're basically just like, oh, I need this piece, I'm going to look for it because I know exactly what it looks like. But in this, you can't do that. You have to actually know what it's called. So I personally spent a lot of time looking around and trying to find pieces, basically. Okay, so I'm going to see if this one works. I think the one I used on the prototype is a 9. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. I'm gonna take a round brick and put it on, and then stick that in. Okay. So like I said, I'm not too worried about the structure of it, because this in real life would never work. And I'm gonna change this up after the episode, and then I'll have more stuff to do after this episode. But I'm just wanting to get this working and make sure, well, that it's working, really. I don't think I should do this. See, it's a little bit of a trial and error thing, just like when you're really building. But yeah, you just gotta try new things, and hopefully it works. Sometimes it doesn't. A lot of times it doesn't. But yeah, so I'm just going to take a round plate, put it up here, and hopefully that'll keep it from moving. So it's going to attach over on this last pole. So it's actually way too close here, so I have to take this out. Okay, so I've kind of fixed it, kind of not. Hopefully it works, so I'm just going to be... So one thing that I actually added was I put these gears on, and this is something that I also did on the prototype. Everything in this is based off the prototype. So I put on these gears, and what it does is it basically adds a little bit of friction so that it doesn't just like spin wildly, because I'm using a friction pin with a gear that attaches here, so it just doesn't make it spin as fast and makes it a little bit more smoother. So I'm just gonna see if I can get this as close as possible so that it doesn't like slide down. And okay, yeah, I think that is probably as close as I'm gonna get. So there we have it. Now the whole thing turns. So yeah, I guess I'll end it there. I'm gonna just color these up, make this black. I can make these gray. I think that'll be okay. And I'm gonna fix this whole entire bottom section for the next episode, but for now I'm just gonna keep it as is. So we're just gonna make these gray that can be black. And yeah, I'm gonna make this better, because as you can see on the full version, let me see if I can find a picture actually of what it looks like on the bottom. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, so this picture is probably the best one I got. So as you can see on the bottom here, where my mouse is, you can see that the platform is pretty wide, but it also gets kind of skinny up at the top. And I've kind of got that going here, but I'll need it much wider, so I'm gonna have to fix that up for the next episode. But actually, next episode I'll fix this up, and then we'll work on the cube itself, getting the frame out, and then I'll also work on the back part. As you can see, there's this whole back part when it spins, and then you can see the man himself. So yeah, we're gonna do this back part, and as well as the base and the cube itself for the next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. This is all that I got done for today. I was kind of hoping to get more, but this should do. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what I can do better for the next episode, because I want to make this series the best I can, and I can only do it without you guys. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I am Rando Builds, and I'll see you guys later.